All right, today I'm going to show you a way to clean your windows professionally and quit using the name brand or even off-brand window cleaner to do the exterior of their windows, where it actually causes more streaks and doesn't really cut through the dirt and dust that accumulate on the outside windows. So today I'm going to show you the professional way to clean windows, and it's easier than you actually think it is, and that you probably already have the product in your house besides these tools here that I use, which you can get these at a local hardware store or online. I'll put links in the description. But this is a 12-inch squeegee. This one's made by Unger brand, which is a professional window cleaning brand. They offer all different kinds of products. And this is the scrubber here. This is like a 14-inch one, and this is what you'll be using to actually clean the windows, and then this is what will be used to make it streak free. Now the product I use, they have numerous different ones out there specifically for windows, but I found in my history of doing windows, so I'll show you exactly what I use. You might already have the solution, and what I use is Dawn dish soap. I just don't have the label on this bottle, but what I end up doing is I go to Sam's Club and I buy the big bottle of Dawn to do dishes, and I just refill the Dawn bottle. Like for the big bottle like this, it's like around 12 bucks or so, and it lasts quite a while. But this is the solution that I use to clean windows, and I have the bucket here. I usually add a couple like teaspoons worth of drops in the bucket, but for the larger panels of glass, like the slider doors, I put it directly on. So this will be the things you need. I have a specific bucket that I use here for window cleaning. It's extra wide to be able to fit the scrub brush in, or the scrubber in this way. But you certainly just use a bucket or even a pitcher of water and dunk it in on each side like this. You like dunk it in, turn it around and dunk it back if it doesn't fit in like this. So like I said, I just have a specific bucket for it. It makes it easier. I got this bucket from Lowe's. I think it was like 15 bucks. And then basically you can get a setup like this for another like $20 or so. So all in for 40 bucks, you'll have a professional, basically upgrade from being able to do your windows here. And the other thing you'll need is microfiber towels. One specifically to do around the edging of the windows, and another to like either pre-clean the sashes or the casings around the windows if they're really dirty. So I recommend having 2 towels for that, because the other one is going to be doing the detail work, the final clean around the edges, so that way it continues to be streak free and not introducing the other dirt that you got from cleaning the other surrounding areas of the window. But if they're like really bad, I'd recommend washing down the surrounding area of the window frames or the door frames beforehand, and then once you get off the main debris and dirt and everything, then you go in with the window treatment and start cleaning. But all right, we'll get started. But first, like I said, I'll add some drops here into the solution, which is the water. And if your windows are really bad, you can even use warm water to help cut through the dirt. But basically, if you think about it, Dawn soap has been formulated to create streak-free results on wine glasses. So just kind of swooshing around the soap, just see it starting to bubble up a little bit. And I'm going to show you a few different techniques on doing the squeegee work on a slider door, as well as smaller windows, and even windows on a 2-story. You might have a second story that you have to get to, and I'll be using a pole for that setup. So all right, I'll show you the next step. He's gonna be here for fucking hours doing damn grass, wandering around. All right, to reach windows that you can't reach by hand, I have this pole here that adjusts in length, and this pole is made by Unger, which is the same brand as the scrubber and the squeegee here. So I'm going to attach it. It has a hole right here that it attaches to. It just clicks in place like so, and you'll get it pre-wet and kind of squeeze out the excess water. Squeeze out the excess like this. You just want it a little bit wet, like to where you can still squeeze out some, but not just overly wet to where it'll start just overflowing everywhere and make a bigger mess. Now by looking at it, I can tell I don't have enough soap on it. So what I like to do is just add a bead of Dawn soap right to the pad itself, so it'll suds up a little bit more, and kind of work it in like so, because you want to have a little bit of more soap on it, so that way there's a little bit more dwell time on it. That way you really agitate and get off the dirt. And also it won't dry as quickly as if it didn't have a lot of soap on it. All right, once you're done scrubbing it, then you take this off the thing and then switch it over to the squeegee, which the squeegee has a hole also. It clicks in place. Now I'm going to go work it from the sideways, because I'll be able to do it in 2 strokes. Extend the pull out. Start in the very upper corner. See how we got an angle going, and just apply some pressure and pull along, and then dry the upper inch or 2 of the squeegee off like so. That way the rest is a little bit lubed, but if this was all wet, you'd have leave a streak on the upper part of the window, or where the upper part of the squeegee is. See that? So being this is in the direct sunlight, it dried too quickly. So when it is in the direct sun, you want to go ahead and just wet one window at a time then. And then go ahead and squeegee it off so it doesn't have a chance to dry. I'll start at the very edge of the window and drag across. And then dry the upper part of the squeegee off. Start at the very end, apply some pressure, and then squeegee it off. So on other windows that you could reach by hand, you take the microfiber and then dry the edges of the window off and along the seal of it. You basically go all the way around as far as you could reach, but I can't reach it, that upper part. But from what I can see already, the squeegee did a good enough job there. So now I'm going to do this other window over here, this kitchen window. I'll do it from the side as well. Don't be afraid if you mess up. You can always go back and wet it down again, and that's how you get practice. Just keep doing it, repeating it. I think this pole was like maybe another $14 or $15 for this size. But if you have a 2-story one, you'll need a longer pole to be able to reach the taller windows. And you want to dry the upper part of the squeegee, and you overlap it by a couple inches. Because if you don't dry that upper part, it will leave a streak going across the window. See, as I just messed that up, so. This is since I can kind of reach this part, this is where you do the detail work along the perimeter of the window to get any of the excess moisture that's built up that the squeegee couldn't get off. That way it's all streak free then. All right, I'll show you some other example windows here next. All right, here's like a small door window. So being that it's so small, you can't fit it in this way, so you'll do it vertically then. Dry off the couple inches of the squeegee there. And pull down. Now, let me show you what would happen if you didn't dry it off. You can see it there. There leaves a line right there, a streaky line. So that'll end up drying like that. And in most cases, you'll be able to see it then. So that's why you want to take the time to dry off at least 1 to 2 inches of the squeegee. One to 2 inches dry. Put it down. You can see there's excess moisture up here, so go back again. And that's where you take your microfiber towel. You can wrap it around your finger to really be able to get into the corners of the window to do the little detail work. That way it doesn't leave any streaks behind. Alright, next I'm going to show you the technique I use to do the slider doors here. Now, I usually keep the microfiber towel in a pocket and don't place it on the ground so it doesn't pick up any dirt that you're going to be dragging across the window, and it could potentially scratch it. So again, you want to kind of squeeze it out a little bit to where it's just not dripping. Then I'm going to apply a bead of Dawn on both sides. Kind of work it in. course, I still have stickers on these sliders I should have removed. But if it's not in direct sunlight like it was on the other side with the windows, you can let it sit there and it'll take a little bit to dry anyway, so you should have enough time to be able to scrub down the next slider panel. The thing that's great about this is once you pay for these items, it's all it is a matter of just having Dawn dish soap in the bucket and water. So this is the technique I do. I start up, go up to the corner here, drag it along the top, hit the other corner, and then work my way down all the way down to the lower corner. Usually I don't leave the glass like that, but since I did that time, you can start again on this upper corner, work your way down, and you kind of maneuver it like so to where you can get along this other edge to that lower corner there. And you kind of just work it back and forth and then down. Oh, you can see I left some behind, so I didn't do a good enough job here. But that's okay. I'll just redo it just to kind of go through the process again. Which you wouldn't have to go through this extreme of redoing the whole glass, but the thing is, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And this one's starting to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and re-wet this one down. Here, I'll do a little bit faster. Then you'll go back with the microfiber along the corners to dry off around the perimeter, because the squeegee won't get everything. I'll do it again on this one. Go from corner to corner, kind of go at an angle, kind of go up. The whole goal of this is not to leave the glass, so you're able to squeegee it all off without leaving the glass. You can really take your time with it. That way you're not leaving the glass and you have to dry off a section. Otherwise you could just go vertical in 3 stripes, go like this, but it'll just take so much longer. That's why it's good to go ahead and just perfect your technique of not leaving the glass, and you'll become more efficient at moving it around like so to be able to dry off the whole pane of glass. So here, I'll show you a few other examples that I have going on at the house. I'm going to show you how to do these smaller panes of glass, because obviously the squeegee is wider than this, so won't have room to be able to maneuver it back and forth like so. So this windows, I do the vertical pull down to squeegee them off. Now once you do add the Dawn directly to the scrubber, it should last for a few windows before you have to add more to it. So just keep that in mind. And whenever you have like an upper and lower window like this, you want to do the upper one first. So if you're pulling your water down, it's okay if it gets onto the lower window. We pull down, dry off a couple inches of the squeegee and overlap a little bit on the dry part. Pull down, wipe, and then pull down. And once you have that part done, you take your microfiber cloth and run along the top sides and then the bottom. And do the next one here. So once you invest in this equipment, you'll have it for a long time. And it'll be just pennies to be able to wash your windows. And you'll get professional results for cheaper than Windex and in less time. And you'll have clean windows. Start in the corner, pull down, wipe. Well, I didn't need to wipe it for this window since I'm starting off. But once you just start getting in the motion, so you'll see here how the squeegee left moisture here. That's what you want to pick up afterwards. Now, like the professionals, when they're doing it on a weekly basis for businesses and commercial properties, they get so good at it to where the window is technically still clean, but they only make it wet to just the upper part where it's still dry in the upper, say, ½ inch or 3/4 of an inch, without getting it all wet up in here. That way the squeegee can start off dry and then drag it down, so you're not dealing with the extra moisture on the windows like I am here. So you can go back with the microfiber, but if it gets to be streaky, then just go back again with the scrubber and just do it again. All it takes is a few seconds to do it. I'll do this glass door here next, so get a little bit wet. You could really use a scrubber to get like in the corners because it's all on the side too. So if you have a lot of buildup of dirt and dust or even cobwebs, so you can just like really scrub the window down. And it's going to be the Dawn dish soap that lifts the dirt up. So this one I'm going to be able to go back and forth. I could just technically do 2 passes, but I'm going to start up here and do the upper pass at least, and then drag it down like so. I'm going to pull off the moisture by pulling it off like that. Dry the few inches off of the squeegee. Start up here and go ahead and drag it down. It's a little bit wet up here. Just do the detail work along the edges so it's nice and streak free. Now, doesn't that beat Windex? It beats it every day, any day. Now I'll show you another way of doing it. Start off the same way that I did it the last time, but this way you'll get the squeegee will get the most of the edging off. So you'll start off at an angle, work your way up to the corner here, drag it over to the other corner, and then pull it down. Now you could technically turn it and go up like this, back up to the corner. Let's see how it left a streak here. That's the reason why you want to dry off the edge when you have such tight quarters to work with. So I'll show you this other way here. Work way up to the corner, all the way down, and then start off at the same angle again, and then go along the edge, up to the corner again, and then turn it around, and then down. And you can see you got most of that moisture along the top. Just got to get along the edge there to do the detail work. There, that's pretty good. All right, next I'm going to show you how I get to my second story windows up here using a pole. So without getting up on a ladder, this is the best way to do it. You get an extension pole that attaches to the window scrubber and the squeegee. I think this pole is 18 feet. So again, you'll see it's got like this part right here that goes into the scrubber and the squeegee. And this adjusts by unscrewing and then pulling it up and then tightening it down. I forget how much this pole was, but I'll put a link in the description for it in case you have a two-story you have to get to. But just so you know, the windows won't be necessarily perfect because you can't go up there and do the detail work to dry it off. So you have to squeegee it off as much as possible. See, I don't know if you can see how it attaches here, just like the other pole does. Scrub off the excess water. That way it's not dripping all over the place, making it a real mess. So what I do when I'm done is I just dump the dirty water out, and then I take the hose, because I don't know if you can see, there's like little pieces of like grass and other debris that it's picked up. So I just take the hose and wash it out real good. And you can see like another piece of, looks like a bamboo or different debris. But anyways, I just take a hose and like wash it out pretty good. And you can even take more Dawn dish soap to wash it out if it's real dirty. Sometimes if you go a while and the window's really bad and dusty and dirty, this can be pretty brown from all the dirt. So just squeeze some more Dawn on it and wash it out. So once it's all pretty good, I just wring it out pretty good. To where it's just a little bit damp still. You can remove it, and you can, I think you could wash it in the wash too, but I think a washing machine might be too rough on it. It'll not last as long then. But yeah, you can certainly remove it. You can even replace these too. but just wring it out pretty good, and then it'll dry over time, and then it'll be ready for the next time you're ready to do your windows again. So like I said, once you buy the bucket that's wide enough, I mean, it's 15 bucks. Like I said, another $20 you can get I think a set of the squeegee and a scrubber as a combo kit. But I would not recommend the ones that have the two combined into one unit. It makes it more of a pain in the butt to wash the window, and then you turn it around with the squeegee, and you're trying to like dunk this in the water to get it wet, and you're dealing with the squeegee that's attached to it, and you don't want to get the squeegee all wet, and otherwise you do have to take the time to kind of dry it off a little bit before you squeegee off the window. Otherwise you'll just be making more of a mess. So I think that actually adds more time to the process, even though it might seem more convenient to have it all in one. But definitely I recommend this setup the way I have it. And if you happen to have small windows, narrow ones like I was dealing with, to where you can get one of these that has a pivot head, so this thing here would twist off to the side like that, almost like at a 45 or even up to a 90 degree, where it's upright like this and the handle's down. That way it makes it easier to scrub back and forth on the real narrow windows. Otherwise, you can get a narrower scrubber and a narrower squeegee as well. But I found the 12-inch squeegee is a good size to do most windows. Obviously, if you have a very large pane, then that's the time to go with the larger squeegee. But the 12-inch one is easy to handle, and it's not overly cumbersome to maneuver around like the larger, like 14-inch and 16-inch ones are. So I recommend the 12-inch, and then this is the 14-inch scrubber. So like I said, just a one-time investment on these tools, you could have pretty good, nice clean windows just like the pros do. And believe me, the pros actually use Dawn soap, sometimes off-brand, but I think Dawn does a better job compared to the other soaps out there, the dish soap. So again, once you have it all, you have the poles for really under 50 bucks for this setup, and then the poles on top of that, so maybe 100 bucks total. You can have this set up, it'll last for years, especially if you're only using it every few months. So it's not like you're going to be out there a professional window cleaner, but you'll have professional results. So if this video helped you, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more DIY tips, tricks, and reviews. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks.